What's up, YouTube? This is going to be a video that, of course, is related to the sorts of things I've talked about on this channel. It just will pretty much say what I've already said on this channel. I'd say pretty much is just describing what I've said since the first video, except I'm just putting it in a diagram. The reality is that sadly, I have not really, how do I say it? I have not made the best effort to describe this theory of mine, even though it's been shared since the first video. In the first video onward, I have said that that the brain is determining neurotypicals, mentally ill brain. The theory of the brain is determining it, and that neurotypicals' brains are mentally ill and wrong, and saying that this is not something where I have to make a diagram for people to understand it. Well, it's just not true. Because obviously, as I've said many times, neurotypicals especially, need to see things to learn them, being, having the mental illnesses I have described, of course, and, but they, of course, have also shown a higher interest in the videos I produced where I actually made diagrams or had images to help describe what I'm saying. So yeah, this should have a higher chance of working, and neurotypicals understanding what I'm saying. So yeah, pretty much this video is just gonna be, that's all it's gonna be. You want to read these things I put on the side, on each side. Okay, poorly drawn. I'm not here to make art. Neurotypical. This entire diagram is as if we view a human under an MRI X-ray, which is why not drawing a zombie, I'm just drawing a human as if they're viewed under an X-ray scan. Pay attention to this region only. The brain, neurotypical brain is what it is pointing to. Produces low level self-awareness. Neurotypical brain. The arrow pointing to it, and the arrow pointing to the neurotypical brain, to show that that's what I'm referring to. And produces low level self-awareness. That arrow is to be pointing to where it says neurotypical brain. So produces low level of self-awareness is the neurotypical brain produces it. Cannot be removed. Their arrow pointing to neurotypical brain from the picture of it to the word. Then there's an arrow pointing to cannot be removed. That's connected to it, trying to say you cannot remove the neurotypical brain. So if you piece all of this information together, it says that we're ignoring these regions of the human anatomy for the sake of testing out the theory in this video you're watching right now. And you're doing so to test out or focus on studying the brain of the neurotypical. It produces low levels of self-awareness. It cannot be removed. Well, now we know that for the sake of argument, we have this thing to the neurotypical, that this trait of them that is this low level of self-awareness, this thing that produces this low level of self-awareness, that also happens to be something that cannot be removed, as I explicitly said there. And so if you had a handicap and it produces low self-awareness and you cannot remove it, then it kind of stands to reason that you could be handicapped and just because you can't remove it, just keep having this handicap. Also, produces low level self-awareness. This is my favorite part. There's an arrow pointing from it to where I wrote produces low level self-awareness. Can cause low awareness of what self-awareness even is in and of itself. So, can low self-awareness cause low awareness of what self-awareness even is? If it can, then there's already a huge risk that the neurotypical brain is mentally ill. Because you have all these neurotypicals who are mentally ill who say that their brains are not mentally ill. Yet, funnily enough, they have something to their brain that produces low self-awareness, cannot be removed, and can cause low awareness of what self-awareness even is in regards to if their brain is mentally ill in the first place. So it's circular. So are neurotypicals mentally ill? Yes, they're mentally ill. Are their brains mentally ill? Yes. And lastly, how can we trust humans about religions? If this stuff is true or even a risk, as I just pointed out in a few minutes. We can't. Not to mention all the other evidence I've compiled on this channel for years. And that others have before I started this channel. Is there anything to possibly suggest that neurotypicals are mentally ill? Nah, probably not. Probably not.